When I think of the word trailblazer, I really think it's an individual who sort of paves the way for others. I do think that it is somebody who also wants to empower others. My motivation in life truly was my mother, Marlene, who I was very blessed to have as a role model. My mother was a Native American. She was Seneca. I am Seneca. But for my mother, she was a survivor of what you would call the residential boarding school era. She didn't want anything like that ever to happen to any other human being. I watched how she treated people with dignity and how she also paved the way for those less fortunate. And I think that helped me and motivated me, and for many other individuals in our Seneca community, to always want to give back, and especially to give back to community. I do consider myself a bit of a trailblazing woman because I was the first Native American, as far as I know, the only one in New York State to have become a provost and a university president. I think the most pressing issue in our indigenous communities today is what we phrase as educational sovereignty, where we have that inherent right to decide the kinds of education, whether it's early childhood, K-12, higher ed, or even adult students, what we want them to learn that will benefit them in the future, and that will also ensure that we can maintain our cultural identity, our customs, our traditions, and most importantly, our indigenous languages. Because our indigenous languages are at a critical juncture where we may lose our languages. So I'm working very hard to share my expertise in language development with indigenous language teachers, because I think that's critically important. Our heritage, our culture, our customs, our traditions are embedded in our native languages. I come from a community that is full of storytellers, and I think that when others who follow us, they see that there's hope for them as well. That's why it's critically important that we share our stories of who we are, how we got here, all the things that we've gone through, our trials, our tribulations, the fun parts of it. I want to see more and more young women especially to be able to look at the trailblazers around us, to say, that can be me someday. There is potential for me, and that's critically important for the future.